Hi, and welcome back to the kitchen. I'm going to speak to someone else now who has been writing songs since she was 7 years old. She's been performing since was 12 years old. She lives and breathes music. In fact, she actually works at a music instrument shop here in Western Australia. I'm not going to tell you which one because I don't want all the fans rushing her. She's a country pop sensation, and she is here in Western Australia, and I only miss her on a Friday night. I'm talking about none other than Claudia Tripp. How are you, Claudia?
I'm good. Thank you for the kind words. Thanks for having me.
No worries. I've been looking through your YouTube, your socials, everything. You started off very, 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 very young out in a mining town in West Australia of Kalgoorlie. What was it like growing up in that mining town and realizing that music was your life's work?
It was really good. Yeah, I moved out of there before I was at the gigging stage, but that's where I started writing songs. And yeah, I came from a musical family. My dad was playing gigs all weekend, every weekend in Kalgoorlie. So yeah, it just kind of started there. And I guess small towns are always rich with inspiration. There's plenty of songs about small towns these days.
Well, that's what we're all about, I suppose. Country music, small towns. So I remember going to Kalgoorlie once, way back in 1988. There was a red light district there, and there was a pub there, and that's all. That's all I remember.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, good. I remember always seeing lots of buskers. Yep. Lots of busking around like the Kmart at the time. I think that's the only shop they had.
Yeah.
And that always inspired me. Was very much like I want to do that one day. And when I moved to Perth, and I've been at Perth ever since, started busking as soon as I could.
And how did I mean? There must have been a huge evolution to come to the sound that you have now with the latest single. But how did you get to, okay, I'm going to do covers of Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran and Sia and a whole heap of things like that, to I'm going to do this country pop sensation stuff like with the last single?
Yeah, I just started writing songs really young as a way to just think through my thoughts, really. As a young kid in school, just come home, write what I was feeling. So definitely never thought about what it sounds like, what genre I wanted to be or anything. I didn't even really think about it as a career path at that stage. But people always told me they heard a bit of country in my voice, and I was always very into like Shania Twain and Taylor Swift and Dolly and people like that. So that probably came through. And then I wanted to start uploading to YouTube and start busking, so I had to start learning all of these songs. And that's probably, I guess, doing covers and listening to other people's music and playing their music is where I kind of start to like pick and choose what I want in my songs, like elements of all of those different instruments and such.
Now, I have noticed that recently you've because your latest single came out last year, so it's a bit old now, but you're still keeping present in the scheme of things. You're doing some stuff over on YouTube where you're releasing like a cover of just you and a guitar. The first one that you did was an Eagles thing called "Take It Easy." And the next one that came out, it came out 2 weeks ago, was "Holding Out for a Hero." Now, I want to talk about that one because I remember the 80s version of that. and you've totally flipped it on its ass and gone, hey, this is going to make a beautiful ballad. Tell me how you worked that out and how that came about, because that was awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's actually not my arrangement. It was an arrangement from LMA Bowen in the new Footloose movie. So the remake, and I just loved it. I just love when you hear a song that you know is like a real dancey song and you hear it completely different, and it's like, wow, I never even knew those lyrics could feel like that.
Yeah,
well, it's like completely flipped over.
Well, you know that Adam Lambert just brought out a version of it as well, and it was like his is going back to the 80s style. I was like, so I heard him perform it live, and I was like, no, don't do that. But when you flipped it, I was just like, well, I hadn't heard the Footloose version,
Yeah.
so obviously I was like, that's amazing. Now another thing that amazed me, you're playing your Taylor on that video, which is your go-to guitar. You do say that the Taylor is your go-to, but you've tuned it to an open E.
Yeah, it's a really weird tuning. It's just, and I learned it for that song back in the day when I heard that, and it's like D-A-D, D-A-D. So like usually you would do dad gad, but it's dad dad. And I love that tuning. I've just like, I write so many songs in that tuning now, and then it's like the band's like, how are we meant to play this?
Exactly, that's what I was thinking. I was watching you playing the thing. I'm thinking, how would anybody be able to follow that? Because you've tuned the guitar in such a strange way that they wouldn't even know where you're at.
Yeah, and there's things like, yeah, when I've tried to get a band arrangement of the songs that I'm writing in that tuning, it's like you can kind of play a G there, but you're missing a bunch of notes, and yeah, it's tricky, but it kind of does just make it stick to that path of it's really acoustic and keep it the way it was written.
So I think the first time that we came across you on Country Thunder, because we've gone through a number of names over the years. Country Thunder Australia is the new name, and that's where it's going to stay. But we came across you back, let me see, 3 years ago with Attention.
Wow. Yeah. I can't believe that was 3 years ago. That's crazy. That was right before the pandemic.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Now you did bring out something in between. We didn't have that because we didn't know about it. But there is a song there that's called "Too Far Gone." Now that one. I'm just wondering, what was the sense of writing that song? Because obviously it's come from a place of hurt and anguish, and actually it comes out with the language as well. So
that might be why you didn't hear it, because it's explicit. There is a clean version as well.
I did see there's a clean version, yes.
Yeah, that song. Yeah, it's been a while since I thought about that song. That. You know, when I release another song and then it's like you're so focused on the new one. But yeah, that one, I wrote that song, and it was kind of just getting to a point with someone where you're like, I've let too much slide and I'm tired of being taken advantage of, and you know, someone's just taking too much from you, and like turning around and trying to just claim that back and be like, no, I'm gonna put my foot down and you know, put it in the past. So
absolutely. Now you did a video clip for that. Interesting, you've gone and done a video clip for it, an acoustic version of it, a video clip of that, and a lyric video for that. You did the whole three.
Yeah.
We'll just put the whole lot out there. We'll get it out there.
Yeah, probably a COVID thing as well, because yeah, when Attention came out, I had just released it, and we did the launch like I think the week before we went into our first lockdown. So any plans of doing a music video or doing anything for that song just kind of went out the window, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I always think about going back and doing it, but you know, once you're on to the next project, it's feels like it's too late. But yeah, and I think in COVID lockdown, I would do acoustic versions of that song on live streams and such. But yeah, and then I think when Too Far Gone was coming out, it just had so much time that it was like do all of it. And but all of it kind of homemade, like that music video. Fantastic videographer filmed it, and then I just edited it all at home. So
wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing what skills we learnt through the pandemic.
Yeah.
You know, like I did a bunch of co-writing, and like I had never done co-writing before. I was always writing my own stuff, and then
me too.
And then suddenly with the pandemic, it was like everybody was on Zoom co-writing, and I did a duet with Glenn Bidmead. I was in China, he was in Sydney.
Amazing. That was it was a weird time, and it was terrible for live music and gigging, but that was so good. And I did a bunch of co-writes as well, and I've always written alone. And being in WA, it's really hard. Most of the country acts are over East.
That's a question I want to ask you, because you are a country artist that is very popular, but you are here in Western Australia. how does that affect you? Because as you say, everything's over east. All the best producers are over east. All the industry is over east. CMAA is over east. Everything's there, So how does that affect you here?
Yeah, I mean, as far as, finding gigs and stuff, I'm super, there's so much work here. There's so much to do. And there is a big music scene. It's just more on the indie rock metal kind of vibe. And there's lots of folk songwriter stuff. But yeah, my first ever Tamworth Country Music Festival was 2020. So right before Attention and right before the pandemic. And that's when I kind of realized, oh, there's so much going on over here. And I've got family in Sydney and stuff, so it's been good to, there's a few reasons to always travel over. But but I think the best thing was, and even producers I've now met, because of the pandemic, everyone's happy to work over Zoom. So I did go for my next single that's coming out in a couple months. I recorded that in Melbourne, but recorded that in Melbourne, and it was with M Squared, who are awesome.
Oh no! I can just picture it now. When because they work with Casey Barnes. We know they're huge with Casey Barnes. They've just worked with what's her name? Hudson Rose. And they're pulling out some stunners,
They're amazing. The way they work is just amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's really excited me as to what's going to come.
I'm super excited. And I traveled over there in about August last year and recorded that song in a couple of days, and it was really good because they kind of said, we can do it over Zoom as well next time, which is awesome. If you can't make the trip, or especially now, it's like if you get sick, you can't travel and things like that. So that's really good. So it feels like, if anything, I'm not too far away. And being able to get over there and going for Tamworth and stuff is really good. And I'm sure you know Jake Davey.
Yep, I do.
He's great. He's we did a co-write together, and he's actually coming to do the music video for it next month. So he's coming
here. Yep.
Yeah. Which is super exciting. And that's kind of, one of those things that's come from Tamworth. You meet each other and then you realize, wait, we can actually just travel and work together whenever we want. So
it's one of those things where COVID, I hated the idea of having COVID and everybody being locked down, but it was something where we all ended up working out how to network and become closer as a community, as a country music community. So, and I even just spoke to somebody else this morning, and they were saying that even what I do with the charts and the radio station and just my social media stuff and stuff like that, they see the community on those posts coming together and congratulating each other on their work and getting a vibe for each other, and seeing new stuff on the chart they haven't seen before, so they'll go and listen to it. So it's really good what's happening with country music right now.
And country is, I feel like, such a family vibe and a community vibe where everyone does want to support each other. And even though you might be in different cities, and obviously everyone's kind of scattered all around the East Coast anyway, everyone's so ready to support each other on social media, which is really good. You don't have to be there like right there to be on each other's radar about stuff, which is really nice.
Cool. So tell me, the last single, we'll see if we can get something exclusive about the new single in a second. the last single, I Only Miss You When I'm Drunk. Obviously, I made a statement towards that at the beginning there. I only miss you on a Friday night. Sorry, Claudia.
Every other day of the week, doing fine.
I'm doing all right, just Friday nights. How did that song come about, and were you surprised at how successful it was going to be?
Yeah, I actually wrote that song in the middle of the pandemic as well, and it was just kind of at home on the couch and just came up with the chorus. That was one of those ones that's not even really from something, although I know everyone who I've talked to has got some sort of drunk dialing story of their time.
Yep.
And there was definitely something, but personal behind it, but not really. It kind of came just from, I got that chorus idea in my head, and then I think I left it for months and just didn't really pick it up till a lot later, and then took it to Michael Bono, who produced it here in Perth as well. So
did an awesome job.
He's amazing, and it came out so like poppy and crisp, and
yeah. I mean, Nashville, here you come. I mean, you should have been over there. I tell you what. Now you've got some exciting stuff coming up. You just hinted to a new single. What can you tell me? What can you tell me about that?
So I co-wrote this song with Rachel Fahim, and then we took it to M Squared and completely revamped it, and it's taken on a whole new life, and it sounds amazing. It's a lot countryer than the other stuff, but still trying to always keep that pop edge in there. It's also about drinking.
Well, why not?
Of course. I feel like everything, I'm like listening to everyone's new songs on the radio, on country radio, it's like, it's all about drinking.
That's right. These days, because now we can go back to it. I mean, that's
yeah. But and so that one is coming out in June. I'm very excited.
Right. Well,
been a while in between singles, so I'm excited.
Yes. But before that happens, you've got some exciting stuff coming up here in Perth. I believe you've got the Muster Rodeo coming up.
Yes. I'm so excited about that.
Yes. And you're also supporting Travis Collins.
Yeah, I'm super excited. And like there is always part of me that's like, oh, I've got to be over east to, play these shows and festivals and stuff. So it's really nice to have something close to home. And especially with that festival, they reach out to me. And I feel like as a young artist, spending so many years, like you apply for festivals and you don't hear anything. So it was just really nice and refreshing to get the message that they wanted to add me to the lineup with my band.
Sorry, that's my
right.
fault. That's my fault.
That's right. I was like, don't mind. But no, and so that's really exciting, and so many people that I just love. Like, I'm just so excited to watch them all and spend the whole night there. And I haven't been to a rodeo before, so I don't know what to expect of that. But
I'll tell you what, it's fun. It's fun. Yeah. So what are the dates for and who's with you on that Muster Rodeo?
That one. Look, my brain at the moment. That is May the 13th on Saturday. Lee Kernigan, Casey Chambers, Amy Shepherd, Casey Barnes as well.
Yes, he's coming back again.
I know, it's amazing, and so such a good lineup, and I'm just so excited to just be there and be part of it.
So the Travis Collins stuff's in June.
Yes, there's two of those, June 2nd and June 4th.
There you go. So, I'm going to try and get to one of those.
It should be amazing. He's fantastic, and it's so nice to.
So he's got a new album launch. That's why he's doing it, and you're going to have a new single in June.
Yeah,
there you go. So
I know the timing is just perfect.
Perfect. Yeah. Excellent. So what else do you have coming up? Any news of the Mandurah Country Music Festival? I mean, that's in October this year. Are we seeing you there?
I would love to be there if they'll have me.
Reg Fest, come on, people, let's get on. Because
I'll send off some.
I actually went to Mandurah, the inaugural one last year, and there was Travis Collins, Casey Barnes, Andrew Swift, Amber Lawrence, who did I forget? Jane Denham. Can't forget Jane Denham.
They're all amazing.
and of course, Johnny Reid was there. And I want to say Sally Jane was there. There's one that I've forgotten. I know I've forgotten them. His name's Mike something. I can't remember. But I wanted to see like the likes of Scarlett's Way there. I wanted to see the likes of you there. I wanted to see more of the independent Western Australian artists there instead of all these artists from over east that have, so there was only sort of Sally Jane, Johnny Reid, and the other one that I can't remember. we're local, and everything else came from over east. And so I have this problem with the industry being all over there and not supporting what's happening here locally. And I think that we should have, when I think of the CMAA, I think they should have a Western Australian office, a Western Australian division, and APRA should have a Western Australian division, because we do have such a diverse musical catalogue here in Western Australia, and it just gets left alone unless you head over east, like Adam Brand's from Western Australia, but he knew that he had to go over east to get anything done. Now he lives on the Gold Coast.
Totally. And it is there's not many, but super there's quite a few really exciting artists coming out of WA, and it's really good. Even you mentioned Johnny Reid, so I will be doing, I don't even know if I can announce it yet, but I'm going to.
There you go.
So I'm going to be launching the single, and Johnny Reid's going to be on the lineup as well. So
cool.
Really excited. I've done a support for him in the past, and it's so good. There's just so many good artists, and I just love going to see them live, and to get to do a show with them as well is really good.
I think Johnny's recording a new album right now too, so
yeah.
There you go. So what's to come for you? I mean, as we know, Western Australia is restricted. Original music is hard for you. Do you see yourself packing up and heading that way so you can be more involved with the whole community?
Maybe. I think about it. I always think about it after Tamworth. I want to just stay over here. But having said that, I think, and like you said, there's so few country acts that in the end, whenever I've done a launch or a headline show, there actually turns out to be all these people that are country fans here that just don't usually have the acts to see. So there's definitely people here that want to see it, and that's always really nice that I've been able to find that kind of crowd here. But I'm certainly thinking of trying to get over there and do more shows, even for just a few months at a time, and go over there, because it's one thing to be over here and posting and trying to put content out online, but it's a whole other thing to go and do a show there. So hopefully soon. But
I mean, I love West Australia. I lived all my life over in the eastern states before I went to Asia. Well, I came over here in 2004, and then I went to Asia in 2009. But when I came back, I was like, nah, I need to see the sunset over the ocean.
It's amazing. Like, honestly, whenever when you do go down, you do that sunset drive and down to the beaches, it's amazing, and it's not too hustle and bustle city life, and it's not too small town country. It's like perfect.
It's great. It's great.
And there's so much musical opportunity here. I play shows all through the week, and it's a good place to be. But definitely want to try and get over there more and connect with the country audiences over there as well.
Now, I think when I came back to Perth, I think that I actually came to your store that you work at to buy my new Maton.
Ooh.
But you weren't there.
Wasn't I? I would have given you a good deal too.
maybe you're in a back office somewhere. But
maybe.
I was there, and I knew I wanted a Maton. I'd always wanted a Maton. And actually, before I left China, I had a tailor. So I actually left a tailor. I went from a tailor to a what's this one here? Takamine. That's what I went from a tailor to a Takamine, and then to a Maton. And I love the sound of a tailor, but they're just I've always wanted a Maton. I like the Tasmanian oak. It's like
they're amazing. As well, their pickup is just amazing. Like, I almost want to say the Maton has like the best pickup. Whenever I hear them plugged in, it's like, wow.
Well, my Maton's outside right now with the children. Probably
no, it's nice. I love a new guitar feeling. It's the best. I'm currently in the market buying a 12-string because
Yep.
just, I love the Eagles so much. And whenever I listen to their songs, I'm like, why don't I have a 12-string? And I think it'll really country up the band set. And
you don't just play the old guitar either. You play the keys as well.
Yeah, a little bit, not well, but
I've seen a video. You did all right.
Yeah, enough to kind of get through songwriting and stuff.
Yeah.
I used to learn as a young kid, but yeah,
that's all you need. That's all you need. Yeah. Now we are in a kitchen here, as you can see. All right, our listeners won't be able to see that on the podcast, but for people on social media, I might just throw something out there for people on social media. I want to know, what do you enjoy cooking in the kitchen?
All right, I'm gonna expose myself here. I don't do a lot of cooking, but if I do, it's pasta.
Pasta.
I love pasta. I could just eat pasta all day, or a pizza.
Yep, there you go. That's
things that are easy to cook. What about yourself?
Well, I would have said the same thing. A beautiful creamy carbonara, or a spaghetti bolognese, or that's my life.
Don't be fooled. I'm not like making the pasta from a from a packet with a sauce from a
San Remo is the way to go.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's got nothing to do with me, basically. I just put it all together.
Well, before you go, can you introduce yourself and your latest single for us?
Yes. Hello, my name's Claudia Tripp. I'm from Perth, Western Australia, and my new single is called I Only Miss You When I'm Drunk.
I only miss you when I'm drunk. I only miss you when I'm drunk.